Hey, welcome to my channel, Crafting with Cami. Today is a new video. I am teaming up with the Inspiration Collaboration, and today we are doing the mystery envelope for May. So every month, someone from our team sends out a mystery envelope with a few products, and we challenge each other to use those products, whether it's on a card or a scrapbook layout. And yes, this is my first time joining, so I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will keep the playlist listed down below. So be sure to check out the others in my group, and we'll be bringing you inspiration every month. This month was Katie's turn to send out the mystery envelope, and she wrote us a letter saying, for the May mystery envelope, I thought I would send a few Stampin' Up! Products for you to play with. I've included 3 6x6 papers, so I have those right here, and they are double-sided. Aren't those beautiful? They look so summery. She also sent us some dots, if I can grab them here. So she also gave us some little dots. 3 ladybugs, which look like this. Aren't those so cute? I'm so excited to play with those. As soon as I pulled those out of the envelope, I was like, oh my gosh, those are adorable. And then she sent gold and silver floss. Okay, so here's the challenge. Make something out of the catalog. You can use these products or anything from your stash. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the catalog. So here is that Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. And right away on the first page, I see this card. And I think that would make a great embellishment. I could expand that onto a scrapbook layout. I will be creating a scrapbook layout with these products. So I see stenciling here, and I have my miniature dots that I could use. I don't have that exact stencil. And then I see some sprigs, which I most definitely have in my stash. Maybe some florals, but for sure going off of this little inspiration here. As soon as I saw this floss, look at how shiny that is. I immediately thought of fishing line, like that silver. They're long pieces too. I immediately thought fishing, and with the summery colored papers, I'm thinking I could do something fun with like a fishing theme. So I do have my stamp set from Stampin' Up! The Gone Fishin', and I have all of these fun stamps and the coordinating thin cuts for these. So I think I'm going to whip this out and see what we come up with. This will be a double page layout, so I'm just going to slide my other Versamat in here. Oh my gosh, this string is impossible to grab. Let's go ahead and get started with this double page layout. I have cut those 6x6 papers down to 2x6. So what I am thinking of doing, let me tack that down. So what I'm thinking about doing is I brought in some sapphire paper, which coordinates well with this paper here from Stampin' Up! Could use the lighter side as well. But what I'm thinking is I cut that down to 11.5. So I have a 1/4 inch border on top and bottom. And then this one I cut to 4. So then this one is cut to 8. So then I could carry that over. And then I'm planning on having these here. And I think I want to leave a little bit of white in between them. I don't think I want them, or do I want them butted up against each other? And then this one I'll have lined completely up with the sapphire. This side I'll have tucked under a little bit, but leave just a little bit of a border. I do want to do my stenciling before I get too carried away. I like having the blue pattern paper on the bottom. It feels heavier to me, so I like it towards the bottom. I like this pinker. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Stampin' Up's colors quite yet. I liked the pink separating the blue and the green, but I'm thinking of bringing in limeade ink for my stenciling and doing some stenciling up here. So I don't want the limeade on limeade. Plus this is polka dot, and then this'll, you know, the stenciling is polka dot then. So I think I like it like that. So I'm just going to kind of look here. So 8, and I'm not quite sure how far I want this down. Maybe right about 8.5. So I'm just going to move these out of my way and bring in my little stencil. Let me grab a brush. So I just have my little limeade brush here. And I have my stencil ready. And I just want this to be super light. So I'm just going to add a little bit to my brush, tap it off, and then I'm actually going to practice a little here. Yeah. Okay. And then just with a super light hand, I want to start at the 8 and about 8.5 and just kind of work my way up. And in the inspiration, they kind of did like a diamond kind of shape. They did it like smaller, narrower, wider, and then narrower. I like that. Is that enough, or should I extend it even more? Maybe a little bit. Okay, so just a little bit more on my brush. And yeah, we'll just go. It got a little darker on that one, but I still think it looks good. I think I might want it top and bottom. So we're just gonna do a little bit right here. Super light hand. It actually goes on darker than what you would think it does. Okay, and then another little bit right here. Maybe have it come down a little bit more. So now for this, you could either just take your chamois and go over it, or you could run it under the sink. I am going to bring in my sandpaper and just go around the edges to show that white. So I'll go around all of these edges of the sapphire. Okay, I have my base adhered down. So for sure I want to bring in the string. So here's that gold. Ooh, here's that silver. And I think I'm actually going to use both of them in my clusters. So I'm just going to bring those together here, and I think I'm just going to wrap them around my fingers and let them be kind of loose, and then add them into my clusters that way. Maybe one more loop. There we go. And just let it look like some tangled up fishing line. I have colored some of these using my tri-blend markers. I have the tan blend, dark red blend, earth brown, dull green, and true blue. So I've colored those in, and I'm thinking this little girl could be sitting here. Among the flowers. I don't want to hide all of the dots. And then I have this little guy fishing. He could go over here with his little bobber, or he could come over here with his little bobber. And then have another cluster up top. I actually think I like him out here. It kind of helps frame it. Otherwise, this is just kind of lost out there. So that kind of helps balance. I also have some of these cattails. So we could do something like that. Maybe even bring some cattails into these embellishments. I want to bring in some of my tackle too. That tackle is from the Gone Fishing collection from Stampin' Up. Here's a little fly. And then of course we have our ladybugs that Katie gave us. So I was thinking we could just scatter one in each cluster. I think those ladybugs are so cute. And of course when you're out fishing you see ladybugs. I'm sure everybody's wondering, where are you putting your pictures? What pictures are you using? I actually don't have any printed yet, but I do have these photo mats. So I was thinking we could maybe put some larger pictures down. We could do like a strip of photos. We have some 3x3s. We could do a grid, fit lots of photos. We don't have any room for vertical photos going this way. We could do kind of move that cluster up a little. If I didn't mention, I got these from a combination of the Isabella, so all of the florals and leaves. I used the Stampin' Up! Gone Fishing for the flies, the bobber, all of these little tackles. And then the Hooked on Fishing from Close to My Heart for the little fishermen, the fish, all of that. So I want to start putting my embellishment clusters together. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a few times and cut it off if I can find my scissors. Woo. Okay. And then just gonna bring those ends together here and kind of spread it out so it's not that perfect loop. Make it look kind of like a tangled mess. Move my little ladybugs out of the way, and I think I want this one right up here. So we are going to add a lot of adhesive to the back of this. Fill it with adhesive. And we will bring those sides together, or those ends together, and then we will tack those ends here. And then have this kind of tucked around. So we'll add adhesive here. Oh, I got my fishing line caught around the cattail. I want that cattail over here, and then him maybe sitting in front of it. And we'll add some more of the fishing line. Okay, and we'll just kind of spread that out and maybe add it right in here. So I should have waited to adhere this. Let's lift that back up and tack it down like this. I did put 3D foam tape on the back of my little boy, and then the fishing line that he's holding is going to be flush to the paper. I'm just going to tack him right here. Okay. Now for these ladybugs, I would recommend glue dots. Those would be the best to tack those down. I don't have any glue dots on me, so I am going to attempt my Barely Art glue. We'll see if they last, but if you have glue dots, that would be the best. So I'm just going to add this one. I'm going to try to get it on his head, his legs, because his body's kind of hollow. That's where he's going. And the glue will dry clear. I'm sorry this cluster is a little off camera, but I'm basically doing the same thing. So I'm wrapping that twine around my fingers, and I actually had the perfect amount. Look at that. I used up every little bit of that string. I put 3D foam tape on the back of this blue flower. I do have this little fish still that I could kind of have maybe poking up under here. Let me move these. Those are distracting. Let's go ahead and add him in there. Kind of coming out of the flowers towards the hook. She's gonna catch him. I like how the tackle just kind of peeks out. I like that. I still have Katie's dots. Let's go ahead and add those into the clusters. So I like to kind of do a triangle. Usually people do their photos first, but last but not least, let's add our photo mats. I am thinking one photo here. Could maybe do some 3x3s. Maybe like that. 4x6. Ooh, we could do a border going across that way. Hold that thought. This strip of paper was in my stash, and I'm thinking of bringing that just across here to kind of balance everything. And then I have that same hooked on fishing, these flies and tackles across, and create our own little border. So I have my two blocks and my two stamps. And we are going to do these in limeade. So I'm putting my fly upright each way, or each time. And then this little guy, I'm rotating. So I'll go, because he doesn't fit up and down. So I'll go that direction, normal fly, come back to this one and go this direction, normal fly, come back to this one, this direction. So now I need to keep that pattern going. So I actually want to start on this side, and we're gonna go hook down, normal fly, hook up, normal fly, hook down, normal fly, And I am going to go around the edges. Just the long edges. I'm not going to go around those short edges. And I let it get a little messy. I kind of drug it extra on purpose, so. I do feel like we need something over here. I have the Hooked on Fishing. This is the Life. Maybe I'll do This is the Life. And I think I'll bring in Sapphire because we have some Sapphire embellishments and coloring. So I think that will look good up there. Okay, I do want to bring in my foam since I'm stamping directly onto my layout. I don't want to mess this up. Okay, make sure our block is clean and that our fingers don't touch. And we'll just do This is the Life. Not pushing down too hard. Don't want to smear that out. Perfect. I wanted to fill in this little section. For one, it's just open, and then also my paper has like a stain of some sort on there that I want to hide. So I stamped this. I used my thin cut and did white paper, and then close to my heart had this Setting the Scene. And I used these dotted lines to put journaling lines. And then I cut a larger circle out of green paper that matched this. And I did the same sanding around that. So I'll go ahead and tack that there. And I'm not going to put adhesive over here. Okay, so that's going to go here. And then I want to make sure my lines are straight so my journaling is straight. So then I can journal here when I add my photo. Let's take another look at the mystery envelopes. So Katie had sent these pattern papers. She sent this string or floss or whatever you want to call that. She sent these ladybugs and these dots. And then our challenge was to be inspired by something from our annual catalog. And I had taken on the very first page this inspiration and thinking adding stenciling behind my clusters. So over here you can see I did some stenciling of that, my dot stencil behind all of my clusters. I added her dots, I added those little ladybugs, and those are staying on pretty good. So obviously you don't want to be too rough with them since they are lifted. They could pop off easily, but I think those are going to stay on. Yeah, let's take a closer look. So we did some stamping to create our own border. And here is that twine wrapped around our cattail, just like if we were fishing by cattails, I'm sure it'd be tangled up in there. That beautiful summery paper, our little boy fishing. We dove into our stash and we used This is the Life and this line stamp. And here's that bigger cluster. All right, I know I have more fishing trips coming up this summer, so I'll be getting pictures on here real soon. I want to remind you this is a collaboration with the Inspiration Collaboration Group. So I will have that playlist linked down in the description box along with everybody that's joining me in this collaboration this week. And we will be releasing videos every month. So stay tuned for the next Mystery Envelope Challenge. And I want to say thank you to Katie again for sending me such fun products. I love these little ladybugs. And they went along with my layout. So great. I'm so glad I have some fishing line in my embellishments. All right, guys, check out that playlist below. And until next time, live a life worth scrapping. Bye.